I thank my job.
Yep, what's good, guys? Yet another day. Man, I don't know what is wrong with the rain today. I don't know what's up with the weather. This is midday, like afternoon. The sun is supposed to be blasting, but all we get is rain. But I kind of like it. I actually appreciate the fact that it's not so sunny today. I can't even complain. I've actually done a lot since it started raining. I went to pick up a package. I came from Lagos. This is work. It contains hard drive that I'm supposed to work on, clips actually that I'm supposed to work on. So I can't wait to see what they've put in there. And then I also got food from Mimi's place, which is one of my favorite places to get food, especially their jollof rice. We're talking about the One UI 7 on the S24 Plus today. If you notice, this phone looks a lot more different the last time you guys saw it on my last video, and that's because I've changed the casing. I like this casing a lot.
Hi, my name is Adana.
Where are you going?
I'm going home.
Oh, okay. Hello. So this is directly from Samsung, and I'm beginning to enjoy it a lot more. At first, shut up. Oh God, go! I saw a darker one, but I was more attracted to this. At first, I was scared because it's a light color and it tends to get dirty easily, but I've used it for like 2 weeks now and nothing. So it's nice, so far so good. And I've started to use a clear screen. I'm beginning to enjoy it. I'm beginning to see a lot more. Like, my phone gets way more brighter when you're under the sun, which is something I really like. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the One UI version 7 on the S24 Plus. I've always wanted to do this video, and I think you guys would enjoy it too. So stick around, let's get it. So from the time I dropped my last video on this channel, I received the update of One UI 7, and I actually saw in the comments of that video that a lot of you had actually updated theirs before they even saw the video. I remember a subscriber urging me to actually update One UI 7 and talk about it, you know. And to be honest, I've had such an amazing experience. I'm not even going to lie about that one. One UI 7 is bro, because most times you see updates over the years, you see some things change, but you don't get a full change like this, which is something I really like, man. So right off the back, the first thing you would notice is the lock screen. The lock screen, man, has a lot more functionality to it right now, and there is more customization, especially when it comes to the clock widget. Now you can drag, you can make it a little bit bigger, you can shape it however you want to shape it, you know, and it just looks cool, man. It just looks cool. And now they've added more widgets, you know, and some cool animations that you can select from. I personally like this one, you know, and then even in the animation, you can still customize the exact font you want to be showing, which is really nice. I just love the customizations that, you know, comes with this thing. When your phone is in a lock state and then you go to the lock screen straight up, it just looks a little bit more dynamic, which is something I really do appreciate on this phone. It just makes it come alive a little bit more. One interesting thing again you would notice on the lock screen is the widget options. Now I think you have 4 spaces to put in the widgets that you actually want to quick access direct from the lock screen. For example, you can start recording just by clicking the record widget. If you put it on there, you can open the camera straight up if you have the widget on there, or just select any widget you want, and it just makes it easy for you. You don't even have to unlock your phone and you're already in the app. Now, just like in iOS, you have something really similar to the dynamic island. I like how when you're on major activities, it just pops up on the lock screen. And if you're running multiple activities, for example, let's say you're playing music on Spotify, you're recording audio, you have a timer going on, you can just swipe through them, you know. And I like the fact that when you tap on it, it just gives you more details. gives you more details about what is going on, and you have the functionality buttons like pause and play. It's just so cool that you can do a lot more right now on the lock screen, even before you unlock your phone. It's just like on the go type of thing, you know. Currently there are limited apps that support this functionality, and most of these are multimedia apps. Just go to your settings, go into lock screen and go to navbar, and you'll be able to see the apps that these currently support, and these are mostly multimedia apps, and hopefully it gets to support more apps in the future, which I really can't wait for. By the way, you just don't access this when you're on your lock screen. You can as well do that when you're on your home screen. You know, when you just tap on, it just shows up, and then when you tap on it, you can, you know, swipe through the apps that are currently running things, and this is really cool feature for me. Now on the lock screen, the charging animation has changed. You know, it's on the same place where you have the now bar, and it's much more cooler. It's much more cooler to see. Let's talk about the home screen. They've actually made a lot of improvements when it comes to the home screen. Now, one specific thing I noticed personally, just because I like to use my phone like that sometimes, apps actually align better on the One UI 7, you know, since the updates came. When you tilt your phone into landscape, it just resizes, it takes note of the sizes of each of the widgets on your phone, and then it just keeps them in different places, you know. It arranges them. It's much cleaner and makes it easier for you to navigate your phone whenever it's on landscape, and I really like it a lot because I tend to do this particular thing a lot of times. Now, one nice thing they've also added is that as you resize widgets, the information they show you actually adjusts, you know, it changes. So most times you don't have to go to the widget and pick a smaller widget or a bigger widget. You can just like resize, and then it keeps showing you more information or lesser information depending on what you're doing. When you go to home screen settings, you can also adjust the size of apps on your home screen and app screen. You know how you have apps, multiple apps in a folder? Whenever you have that now, you know, most times you just click on it before you click on the particular app that you want. Now you can just hold the folder and then click on enlarge, and then it just stays like that. You know, it just adjusts and then stays like that, and then you can actually access the apps you want to use. Let's talk about widgets. Coming to the calendar widgets, there's just a lot you can do with it, but one of my favorites is actually the countdown widget. Now, for example, if I want to count down to a particular day, all I have to do is come to the calendar widget, select the countdown widget, select the dates. You can even choose the specific shape you want for the widget. The customization even goes as far as letting you select a picture for this widget, and then that's it. You know, you can just have it on your home screen, and every day you see this widget counting down to the actual date you set it to. Most of these new widgets are just good recipe for productivity. For example, the notes widget has improved. There's just more functionalities you can add to it now. The calendar widget, I can set my meetings, and you can as well set multiple meetings. The count is just a lot, man. I think you should go check it out by yourself. This particular widget where you can stack a couple of widgets together has become my favorite one, because you can use a particular space mapped out on your home screen to access multiple widgets. I mean, not only can I see my phone storage and optimization, I can also make direct calls to specific contacts I've mapped out from here. I can as well play music from my music player from here. I can also see the battery percentages of all my connected devices. I also like the fact that you can access individual settings on each of the stacked widgets. The very first thing that actually caught my eye as a major change when I updated to the One UI 7 is the notification and the quick settings panel. The first time I slid down, because I use my right hand a lot, so I slid down my notification panel, and then it was just showing the quick settings panel, and I was like, yo, okay, where is the notifications? Why are they not showing up? Is something wrong? You know? And then I realized that you just have to slide from your right hand to get the quick settings, and then slide from the left to get the notifications, which is something I've seen in some phones over the years. And I think Samsung is trying to make you get used to this. But I like the fact that when Samsung brings something new, they would always give you the option of going back to what you used to know. Sometimes the notification and then the quick settings panel, when they get mixed up, it could be a lot, you know. It's just a long list of things running down your notification. So I like the fact that it's now separate, you know. I'm sliding down to do a function and I'm sliding down to read notifications. I just know, you know, it's just so easy to get used to. So I don't think I'm going to be changing that to what it used to be. Now, I like how you can customize your quick setting panel now. You can decide to switch the rows depending on how often you use it. You know, you can decide to drag this up and drag this down, and you can even decide to have more functions showing up depending on how you like it, which is really cool to have, honestly. Moving on from the notification and quick settings panel, the app drawer has also changed. The app drawer used to be in like pages, you know, when you just slide through, but now it's vertical like a list. And I like the fact that you can actually do the alphabet thing to easily trace the app that you're looking for, which is nice. But then, like I always say, I like how Samsung will give you new stuff and then give you the option of going back to what you're used to. If you do not like how this looks, you can actually switch back to the pages, you know, how it used to be initially, which I kind of prefer. I've always not been a fan of, you know, lists and scrolling to find apps. I would prefer going in pages. And now the positioning for the finder has changed. It used to be on top of the apps initially, but now it's below, right below, after you must have seen all the apps. And it even have more functionalities now. Like you can literally search for anything. You can even pull up a movie on Netflix just from the search bar without opening the Netflix app, and boom, you're already watching a movie on Netflix. Bro, it's getting nice by the day. The ease you have now to use a Samsung phone is up there. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, you just do things on the go. I think Samsung really pay good attention to what their audience need, and this is why they have a good mixture of productivity and fun on their devices. Speaking of productivity, there are two major productivity apps I like to use on my phone: the Reminder app and the Clock app. One major thing I've noticed on the Reminder app is that you can now add reminder on the go. Now you can literally just come to the bar where you have add reminder, type whatever you want to type, go to the calendar right beside it. You can choose 3 days from now, 1 week from now, 1 month from now. I mean, they give you presets. They give you presets for you to like have a reminder on the go. And when you're done with that, just click on the time button that you're seeing there, and then you can choose a specific time, and you can also add more presets to it, which is like really cool. And when you're done, click the marker and you have a reminder, which is really cool. And I think you can also group them now, because you can group them in categories now. The Clock app, just like the Reminder app, also has its own upgrade. Now you can group alarms. For example, if I like to wake up by 6 a.m. and I'm setting multiple alarms, for example, you have 6 a.m., you have 6:05 a.m., 6:10 a.m. just for you to wake up. You can just mark all those alarms and put them in a group. And once you put them in a group, you can have a toggle for all of them. Once you click on the toggle, all the alarms by 6 a.m. are on. Once you toggle it off, all of them are off, which actually makes it way easy. You know, initially you just have to set 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., 6:15 a.m., and then you start to toggle all of them on and off. You know how you can now have different calendars showing different dates from the widgets. You can now drag and drop events from, let's say, your previous day to another day, just in case you didn't meet up and you want to actually achieve that tomorrow. You can just drag and drop whatever events you've, you know, put on your previous day to the next day or onto a future date. Nice. Let's talk about the Samsung file. Now, they made a slight change to this, but it's quite significant. I like how when you try to attach files, for example, you're trying to send an email now and you want to attach files, it gives you a proper thumbnail of what the file looks like, because initially everything looks the same. You just have the names of the file, but now you can see what the files look like, which is nice. And you have how to filter them. For example, here you have audio, video, documents, just basically filters that make it a lot more easier for you. And you can as well have where you want to get these files from. For example, internal storage, OneDrive, Google Drive. Still speaking on files, there are other features that has been added. For example, when it comes to quick share, which is actually quick for real. Quick share is currently faster than Apple's AirDrop. Initially, if you open quick share, it loads up and then shows you the circle thing, searches for available devices. Now, when you open quick share, you would see devices you usually send files to, and then you can just tap on it. They've also made it that if you're sharing files to someone and they happen to go out of range for a bit, the transfer doesn't stop. It starts to share over internet. Now, how you can enable that is just go over to quick share, go to settings, and you'll see an option that says allow sharing over internet. And once you toggle that on, that is what it's going to do for you. Coming to the camera app, I like how cleaner it looks. It looks a lot more cleaner. Everything just came down to the bottom, and it just makes it look a lot more cleaner. And now when you go to more, the other features, the way they've positioned it, you can literally do that with your thumb. In my last video, I got some comments asking me if you're able to shoot in lock profile once you update to One UI 7, and yes, you're able to do that. This feature was not available on the S24 Plus initially. It was on the S24 Ultra, S25 series, but then not on the S24 Plus. But right now, after the update, it's available, and it's something I'm loving, especially as a filmmaker. If you shoot in log profiles, you know that you get more colors out of it when you're color grading. So I like it a lot. Now, when you go to your Game Booster app, you can now enable specific customizations for different games. All you have to do when you go to your Game Booster is to go to customizations for individual games. For example, Call of Duty, which is the only game I have right now, you can just change the optimization, whether you want it to be performance, balance, or battery saver. Of course, I want it to be performance. Frames per second, you can literally go from 20 frames all the way to 60 frames per second, right? Screen resolution, you can set that, whether you want frame booster or not, which is really nice feature to have. Now, one last feature I really like is for the battery. I usually don't like to charge my phone up to 100% every other day. I like to use the battery protection. When you go into battery protection, you have one more option, which is maximum, right? And you can go from 80% to 95%. You can just select, just toggle it, and you select where you want your battery to stop charging. Usually I go from 85% to 90%, which is okay for me. When you go to your battery saving settings, you have a lot more options to save your battery. You have turn off always on display, decrease brightness, set motion. It just goes on and on and on. The main goal is for you to actually save your battery. So these are the very features I've enjoyed since like 2 weeks. I switched to One UI 7, which is something I'm really enjoying. It just makes me feel like I'm using a brand new phone again, and I completely love it. The UI is smoother now, everything is cleaner. I know it can get better, but I really appreciate this one. So let me know what you think about this, if you've switched to the One UI version 7, or you're still planning to, or you don't want to. Just let me know in the comment section. Let's have this conversation. I'm really pumped about this, and I'm really pumped to know what you guys think about it. Right, so I'll see you guys in the next one. I can't wait to drop another one as soon as possible, because I always love to talk to you guys, man. I'm not even going to cap about that. Yeah, peace and love, man.